Melissa Susie, hello. First one in. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Kim Timlin. Hi, Ellen I, Jules Farmer, Dave S, Hippie Love, Sinead Connolly. Perfect. Oh, good. That's good. Hi, Fairly Vague. Thanks for modding for me. Hola. Hi, Stardust, Mandy Hall. Enon, or Anon, Enon. Anon, actually, probably, isn't it? Well, it's absolutely chucking it down here in the UK today. It's rained all day. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for being here. Hi, Mary MC, Mary Muck, Jill. Yeah, it's absolutely hammering it down. It's been raining all day. It rained when I went to work this morning. Actually, it rained when I got up this morning. It rained when I went to work this morning. It rained when I come out of work, and it's still raining now. Miserably hot in Ohio. Oh, I think I'd rather be hot though, Dave, at the moment. I'd rather hot than wet. Hippo's cleaning her kitchen. I suppose someone's got to do it, haven't they? Yeah, nice if you're a duck. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, raining in Liverpool. I think probably the whole of the UK it's raining actually. See, this is the thing with the UK. We can have a beautiful day one day. You can be sat out in the garden sunbathing, and the next day it just rains all day. And it's about half the temperature. 109 heat index. Oh yeah, that is quite hot actually, isn't it? New sub. Hello, Sinead. New sub. So is everyone excited for the new evidence tonight? AD's new evidence. Shanann points the way. He's just got to use her name, hasn't he? It's like a desperate attempt to appeal to the family, isn't it? Apparently, everyone's got to stop and watch it. The FBI, the CBI, Frederick Police, the Ruzek family, everybody has got to stop and watch because this is going to be a game changer. Yeah, he literally is begging it. He begs to watch. Yeah. Oh, maybe he knows now that yeah, maybe he knows the Ruzeks are real now. What do you think? Now he's seen, Frank, Sandy, and Frankie all in our chat. Can't really. It's going to be difficult for him to deny that now, isn't it? But that was a fantastic night on Monday. I hope everyone was there and enjoyed it. It was one of our most memorable lives, I think. In fact, we had all the Ruzek family on and Duty Ron as well coming on. 20-year New York police detective, kind of approving of what we do, verifying what we do. So it's hard for people now to call us trolls, isn't it? Or cyber bullies. Like he said, he wouldn't have been talking to us if we thought we were that. So yeah, it's almost like a seal of approval, wasn't it? It was great. So yeah, loads to never. No, we were never trolls. No, we were made out to be the worst trolls ever, haven't we? Using pictures of people's children and this, that, and the other. Absolute outright lies. Hi, Casbat. What's the crack? We're just gonna go over a few things really that have been over the week. Just saying how we've been labelled the worst trolls ever, or tried to be. But it was nice to have Duty One in on Monday to sort of give us his seal of approval, if you like. Yeah, Phoebe's fine. As I say, she's going to have to take an extended leave though, away from computers and everything like that, and everything that's going on. So yeah, but as far as I know, she's fine. Hi, Brandy, Pippi, Jules Summer. Because I think I've gone through them, haven't I? Yeah. So what did everyone think of? Well, let's just say this. We broke the news the other day that somebody had been round to Shanann's house, because we had it on very, very good word that they had. That person then, of course, denied it. I think we know what we're talking about. And it's funny how a couple of days ago, or yesterday, he releases a photo of inside Betty's garage, which is probably illegal, actually. I think that's invasion of privacy, wouldn't you? I certainly would like it if someone come around taking pictures of my photos of my garage. I mean, what's he going to do next? Try and get photos of inside the house? So yeah, was that a coincidence? I think not. Because we said we were told we were making up lies and trying to spread gossip and all this and that. No one believed us. So I hope people have put two and two together with that. Because obviously he has had someone out there. Yeah, leave Betty alone. Yeah, that could be our line actually, couldn't it? Leave Betty alone. Yeah, so he obviously did have someone go around there. And they got told to sod off by Nate. So they not only did they get those photos, they've obviously done other things as well. They've probably gone up to the house. Well, they did. They went up to the house. I don't know if they actually knocked on Nate's door, but Nate told them where to go. So yeah, that's where those photos have come from. And then, I mean, that all adds into the stupidness, doesn't it, of him saying that Betty's car's not red. I mean, if I'm wrong, correct me, but this crime happened back in August 2018, and that photo would have been taken in the last few days, because there's no way in hell he would have held on to that photo for months and months, is there? He said, oh, it was taken maybe a few months after. No way. That photo was taken probably within the last few days. Like I say, there's no way he would have kept something like that back. So yeah, so there's a slight possibility that Betty may have changed her car in those 11 months. But yeah, it doesn't seem to sort of take that into account. I mean, that's just, and how he can use that as evidence, as proof that Betty's car's not red. I mean, it's just ridiculous, isn't it? People change their cars all the time. It's just absolutely crazy. So yeah, I don't quite know how he can stand that up as evidence. It's absolutely nonsense. And then he's saying about, oh well, she could have driven out straight because the garage is on the side and she should have had to turn. For all we know, she could have just backed the car up on her drive, couldn't she? Or she could have got it out, gone inside, got something, come back out. It's just more. Yeah, he calls this evidence, Or he says it's opinion one minute and then screaming at you that it's a fact the next minute. Which, yeah, I don't really understand that. Or how people can believe that, really. She may have moved, Eve. Yeah, she may have moved, yeah. Yeah, she may have moved, yeah. No one's seen her. I mean, they need to leave the poor woman alone. Hi, Evie Scorpio. Opinionated evidence. Yeah, exactly. Opinionated evidence. That's all it is, isn't it? It's opinions. Which is exactly what my next point was about Scott Royce. I mean, like Scott was saying, opinions is not evidence, is it? Any one of us could say, I don't know, John Lennon was there, but he wasn't. It's just, That's opinions, isn't it? But you've got to have more than that in obviously in crime, haven't you? To prove something, you've got to have facts. It's got to be based up by scientific facts and evidence. And obviously, you know, none of that is. I mean, when he zoomed in and he was trying to show, you know, the handbag and all that, I could see all sorts of things. I could see a T-Rex head, so I could say that there was a T-Rex dinosaur there as well. I could see all sorts of things really, but it doesn't mean to say they're there, does it? So yeah, and I was glad Scott put him in his place. What does everyone think about that? About Scott's video? I thought that was perfect sort of reply really. I don't know how he's going to spin his way out of that now. Yeah, brilliant it was. Because he was still going on about how they're going to do this collaboration video. But yeah, do you reckon it was a fake email? Do you reckon someone's playing a trick on him, or do you reckon he just created that himself, that email, or he got someone to do it, or maybe it was Scott's assistant or whatever. Maybe his assistant's new to it all and doesn't know the full story. I don't know, but whatever he lied, yeah, he made it literally sound as if they were definitely going to do this video together. The attorney versus the armchair. But no, I think he's been put in. Oh yeah, well done, Garfield. Yeah, the little evil man in the garage, the evil face. So what do we all think about that then? Do you reckon there's some kind of spirits involved in all this? Was it a cat? Was it a shadow? I couldn't really tell, to be honest. But I don't think it was a skull or a demon or a skeleton. I just hope he doesn't go down some kind of spiritual route tonight. And I hope he doesn't come out with some more psychic bullcrap that Shanann's come through. And I mean, that would just be very disrespectful again, wouldn't it? Evie Scully's a pathological liar. He thinks his lies won't be found out. Yeah, but how does he think that? I really don't know, because everyone's onto him now, aren't they? It's just... He's literally... I don't know where he's going to go from here. If he's just going to continue to believe this and just... he's never going to say he's wrong, is he? Or sorry, or... Melissa Susie, one of his subs said it was the accomplice in a mask. Did they really say that? Oh my god. Yeah, hide in Betty's garage. Oh dear. It is quite scary actually, is it? Some of the things that his subs put are actually just as bizarre and scary as the stuff that he comes out with. But I guess that kind of explains why they're there, doesn't it, really? It's kind of all the wackos, and they are conspiracy theorists, whatever they say they are. Brandy Brown probably not ever admit he is wrong. No, I don't think he will. Takes someone with humility to do. Yeah, he won't ever admit he's wrong. I don't think he will anyway. I think he'll just... I don't know what he's going to do. Devil might have some more stuff to go over 1 week on Team Phoenix, maybe regarding why we're also affected in the NK situation, but I'll have to hold back if there's family in chat. Okay, appreciate that, Devil Mike. Yeah, we'll definitely... on our TP lives, we always have the lines open, unless we're doing something particular, but yeah. But yeah, I respect that. You'll respect if the family are there. That's great. Obviously, we do have to be a little bit wary, careful of what we say, and obviously take into account the fact if the family are there. Hi, Nurse Ratchet. Casey loves essential oils. It's a cool name. Janet Ginty. Helen Hayes. I saw you comment, Janet, on Daniel Bishop's video, actually. Did everyone see that today? I'm sure you did. Daniel put that video up of using the aging app. The app's been around for ages, actually. I don't know why. So everyone suddenly brought it out again, but Yeah, he did a Chris Watts one, which would have been fine, I think, but he had pictures of Chris with, I think he had one with Cece and one was with Frank and one with Shanann, and it just wasn't appropriate. I'm very surprised he did that, to be honest. Yeah, Cece, yeah, exactly. I mean, that can be construed many ways, couldn't it? It's certainly not something that I would ever dream of putting out, so I don't quite know why he put that out. He certainly seemed pretty pissed that he had to take it down, didn't he? Although he was very respectful, I'll give him that, I mean, Tracy asked him respectfully to take it down, which he did, and he sort of respectfully made a video, but he did seem a little bit annoyed about it. But at the end of the day, it's his channel, whatever. But yeah, we thought it was a bit in poor taste, really. And to be honest, I don't quite know why he's got involved in all of this drama. He just sort of seems to have inserted himself into it when he didn't need to, really. Hi, Irish Eyes. Yeah, I don't know what it tied in with really, but he just suddenly seemed to start covering Chris Watts a lot, and obviously then he went on AD's channel, and then he got involved with Miss Menzer, and all the drama kicked off, and he sort of found himself in the middle, isn't he? But I kind of thinking he's brought a lot of that upon himself, to be fair. Oh yeah, we're going to ask one thing. If you're aware of Critical K, right? I'm sure you are. But if you could help us all out by going to that IC3Gov site if you haven't already, and just reporting her videos. She's someone that we really would like to be taken down. So, we know that they're one of the channels that the family really hate. So yeah, if you could report Critical K videos, it's not difficult really. If you look at them to understand why, we'll listen to them. So the site is, let me just stick it in the chat. Let me make sure I get it right. It is literally how it sounds. Hang on 1 second. Bear with me a minute. Has anyone got the link to the IC3 site? Is it IC3? Bear with me a minute. I put it on our page, didn't I? Oh, Casbat's posted it, actually. Yeah, it's actually the FBI site. But we've been advised that if we get as many as we can reported on there, the better. So yeah, it's ic3.gov, I think. Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I'll stick it in the chat as well. But yeah, if you can get on there and just report as many channels as you can, but particularly Critical K's, we'd appreciate that. I mean, she said some of the worst stuff about Shanann anyway. It's not, it's not. Thanks, Brandy. Yeah, that'd be great. I mean, if we get her channel taken down, then all the better, really. All the better. Yeah, so this Scott Weiss video was quite good, wasn't it? Because he actually put right a couple of things. One of the big points was the phone ping, wasn't it? Because that's one of the things that everyone's been going on about. Yes, but her phone pinged in Frederick. It's never ever pinged in Frederick before. But Scott sort of raised a point about the timings of it, didn't he? I mean, one, he said, just because it phoned, pinged in Frederick just means she could have been in the area. she could have been driving down the highway, took a different route to work, and the phone pinged it. I think it was it 6:14 or something like that, 6:14 a.m. And by 5:35, Chris was already on the way to the oil site, the well site. So for her to, in his words, sort of turn up in the area 45 minutes later, after Chris had already left, it doesn't really tie up anyway, does it? So that was a really, good point raised by Scott there. And he pointed out about the, it being a woman and the gait, that would be expert testimony, and no one's an expert in gaits, are they? People's gaits, it just wouldn't hold up. Nurse Ratchet, who can you watch those channels? You must be so boring for you. Yeah, it is a little bit, but we have to know what's going on. So, Tiggy P Scottish, real intelligent, no couch potato. I mean, so if yeah, no, really, he's a proper defence lawyer, isn't he? I'd love him to get a case against yeah, he's not a prosecutor, is he? But if he was a prosecuting attorney, I'd love to see him put AD in jail. That'd be quite funny. The other thing with her, being a woman as well, I think that people, I mean, at the end of the day, they had a doorbell cam, didn't they? It picked up Shanann coming home. I'm sure if anybody else walked out of the house, they would have been picked up on the doorbell cam. I mean, there must be so much video on that doorbell cam of anyone and everybody going in and out that house. So, do you know what I mean? Surely if she was there, she'd have been picked up on that. They've probably got loads of doorbell cam footage that they haven't released. I know people will probably say then, oh, well, Chris managed to switch it off or tape up the cameras, and that's just, So I can't see that happening. And he said there's a handbag there as well now, didn't he? They zoomed in and found a handbag. And it matches exactly the picture of her in the interview room. Or has it got to match exactly to another picture? The only picture that video they've got of her. It's just stupid as well, isn't it? Yeah, big news tonight. Big news tonight, apparently. I wonder if this is actually going to be his final evidence. So I thought we'd already had the evidence. Yes, Mandy, the handbag. The handbag. First thing you must take to a murder, your handbag. Gotta make sure you got your handbag. Kim, yeah, I think he's already said that, Kim, about taping up the doorbell cameras. I'm sure that was mentioned a while ago. And also, I'm sure a while ago he said that the red car wasn't red, it was grey, but it was the brake lights of Chris's truck that made it look red. I'm sure he said that a while ago. Daniel Wiltshire, DadTV, do you remember about ages ago they said they saw a finger on the mobile and a blob of pixelated blobs? Imagine a finger bobs line up. Yeah. Oh, there's been so many blobs and shadows and pixels, isn't there? It's so pixelated most of the time. It just makes you wonder what he's going to find next, doesn't it, really? In this bit of footage. And apparently Betty zooms out the drive. It didn't quite look like that to me. It just looks like she drove out. And they're probably at 5:30 in the morning. You haven't really got to worry about traffic, have you? Devon White, most of his comments are like fake reviews, commending him covering anything he's accused of. Yeah. Oh, he's got so much adulation as well, hasn't he? Wow, you did it. You did it, AD. Wow, amazing. This is it this time. Evie Scorfield will find aliens in Betty's garage. He will. You wait and see. You wait and see. I mean, apparently it was all a big insurance Oh, that was one thing he was saying about it being. So the plan was apparently they were all gonna drive to the Anadarko site, wasn't it? And then Shinam was gonna drive there, and then they was gonna blow it all up. Well, one, I don't quite know how you're gonna blow up an oil site like that. We're gonna have a big, massive wick or something, of rope or something. Um, but the other thing is, Chris in the CCTV, Chris clearly made a point of showing Nate that he had the red gas can, didn't he? So if it was to do, if that was the idea, that's going to fall over straight away, isn't it? Because Anadarko are going to say, well, clearly you were taking a can of gas to the site, which is not allowed. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked, would it? That would have been a great idea. Letting Anadarko know that you were taking a can of fuel to the site. So, but again, that was something that was overlooked. Betty is the unicorn. Yeah, she might be. She might be. I feel sorry for Betty. Poor Betty, if she's still there. Fancy having someone taking a picture of your garage. How weird is that? That is bordering on stalking, isn't it? It's got to be. That's got to be bordering on stalking. Because that's not a photo of public property, is it? That's a private property, that is. I hope she sees that picture. Bordering on, yeah, yeah. It is, yeah, yeah. I hope she sees that picture and he prosecutes him for that, or whoever did it. Grim rubbernecking, yeah, it is. So they've clearly been driving up and down that street, or they've drove up, took the picture, stopped, got out, gone to the house, nosing around. I wonder what else they were nosing around for. I wonder if they took any other pictures. They probably did, didn't they? They probably took pictures of the house and everything. I wonder if because of what we said about him going there, or someone representing him, that he's not going to release some of these photos now. But yeah, he's trying to make us believe that he's had them for months. It's like, yeah, right, you'd really hang on to them for months, wouldn't you, in that photo? No way. No way, Jose. If anyone does want to call in, I can open up the line if there is anyone that wants to call in for any reason, have a rant or put some points across. Hi, Adam Appel. Hi, Carol Lucy. Yeah, if anyone does, I can always put the number in the description underneath the video. Two new videos just went up. Was that on his site, Dave, or on AD's site? Or was that anti-AD sites channels? He's not very happy, is he, that we've infiltrated his name? You know, his name, Armchair Detective, is his name. It's not a general term or anything like that. He owns it, apparently. Anti-AD vids. Oh, okay. I mean, fancy using someone's name for clickbait. Fancy doing that. Of course, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't put what's in the title of his videos, would he? To get clicks? No. No, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't put Chris Watts in the title of his videos. No. Does anyone know what's going on behind the scenes in their Facebook land? So I suppose I shouldn't ask you actually. You don't want to give yourself away, do you? Don't answer that. I'm sure they're scamming and riling up his group, telling us how evil we are. And we need a Facebook. Yeah, we do need a Facebook group. The only problem with Facebook, it's a bit open, isn't it? It's a bit sort of I suppose it can be locked right down. We'd have to lock it right down because You know, I think it's sort of. Can you lock it right down so no one can see personal information and stuff like that on Facebook? It would be good because it would give us a place. Um, yeah, I'm not on Facebook. This is enough for me. Nike MO19. How about all of us rename our YouTube accounts as Armchair Detectives? Yeah, that would really annoy him, wouldn't it? That would really annoy him. Thing is, stupid. You can't own that name, Armchair Detective. Do you know what I mean? That's a term, isn't it? A slang term for people that study and try and solve crimes at home. So he can't now try and say that's his name. Anyone could call themselves Armchair Detectives. But yeah, it's great that people look for him, and there's like 20 of us lot come up. But you know, he's made his bed. Dad, can you guys do videos yet? No, we're just waiting. We're hoping it's going to be any day we're going to know about our sort of counterclaim. So fingers crossed, touch wood. You know, we can get back on it. You know, 'cause it was so unfair. I mean, Tracy's cartoons, how they could be classed as copyright is beyond me. I mean, you know, how original can you have to be? How original do you have to be? Absolutely ridiculous. Trouble is with YouTube, that's all they care about is copyright. It's all they care about. And it seems to be if anyone puts in a claim, YouTube just say, oh, all right then. Okay, well, we'll do that. Because they're so worried about being taken to court themselves. I think they just sort of bang the claim straight in, and then it's up to the person to sort of counterclaim it, which is just stupid, really. I don't know if anyone actually sits and watches the videos. Do you know what I mean? I think it might all just be, well, it might even just be bots that look at the videos. Hi, Mick, that look at the videos. Just bots analyze it or something. I don't know, but surely if anyone looked at our cartoons, they wouldn't class them as copyright. I can't believe that. Yeah, fingers crossed they'll be back soon. Tracy's got an absolute backlog of cartoons to put out there. A whole catalogue, I imagine. Nike Air 19, yeah, the Scott thing, yeah. Yeah, we know that. Scott Reish, or Reish. He put out a video today, I think it was, or yesterday, they putting him right again. Just saying, look, he's not interested, basically. He doesn't, none of what AD says is evident, would stand up anywhere in any court. You know, it's just opinions and it's nothing else. Jules Kitchener made me laugh when AD complained about the stained underpants. Yeah, that was quite funny actually. Yeah. I mean, come on, there could be worse things. If someone did that to me, I would just laugh. Honestly, I would. I would just find that funny. Now we can take that seriously. I mean, Christ, the things he says, accuses women of committing murder and stuff. Well, that's fine though. That's fine. But just don't talk about my stained underpants. But yeah, I suppose Tracy, his nose hair and ears hair is going to be a little bit longer now as well, I'd imagine. It used to grow each video, didn't it? Every time Tracy gets annoyed, you see she adds a little bit. She adds a little bit to AD's hair levels, facial hair levels. So in a few months' time, he's probably going to start looking like a werewolf or something. Even he must laugh at the cartoons. Come on. They must have a laugh at the cartoons. And they're fantastic. Original, brilliantly put together, very funny. How can you not like those cartoons? And the merch line as well. We've even had people say they would buy our merch I don't know if they're taking the mickey or not, but they would buy us some of our merch. You know, the left-handed mugs. People are interested in left-handed mugs. The AD duvet sets. The insider telephone. Insider hotline telephone. Yeah, the flies hat, the flies thing that you put on your head. Yeah, yeah, we got plenty of merch. But yeah, people have said they would actually buy it. We just haven't got the time really or anything to do anything like that. It's a shame, but it would be quite funny if we had our own merch. That would really annoy him, wouldn't it? That really would annoy him if we had our own merch shop. That'd be hilarious. Hi, Ms. Coley. Jules Farming takes himself so seriously. It's going. Oh, I know. It really is sad, isn't it? It really is sad. How he just sits there loving the praise. If they praise his clothes, he loves that, doesn't he? His jackets or his. Oh, he loves it. He loves all the praise. Loves all the praise. So what time is he going live tonight, AD? Is he going on at 10, I think, is it? 10 o'clock. I know he looks hip, Dave. He does. He looks so cool. For a man of his age, he just looks so cool. Oh, what was that one? Oh, chat's going a bit mad. Pitbull Sleuth, did you notice plain white mug? Does that mean he has been stopped advertising merch as well? Oh, I don't know. I noticed that. Has he only had plain mugs, has he, Pitbull? He's always used to show off his Winston one, didn't he? Dave S. Love seeing a 7-year-old in 18-year-old's clothing. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to wear your baseball cap and your sunglasses and Sports Direct t-shirts. Yeah, AD duvets. AD duvets for sale. Fly hats. Left-handed mugs, insider telephones. We've got it all. Russian water. Russian water's on it's for sale. 2 for the price of 3 on the Russian water. Yeah, we've got plenty of merch. I'm sure there'll be more coming out as well. Sure there'll be plenty more coming out. So, does anyone want to ring in? If I open the line, does anyone want to ring in? Is anyone brave enough to ring in? Has anyone got anything they want to talk about? I want to be Scott Reese. Yeah, Scott Reese has got his own mugs, actually, isn't he? I think quite a few of the crime guys have got mugs, haven't they? So AD always said that they copied him, didn't they? They're always copying him. I saw quite a nice comment on Scott Reese's page today. It was something like at least Scott Rice has got a real library books behind him rather than fake ones, which was a good point. I presume Scott Reese's is real books. I would hope so. Probably law books and stuff, aren't they? Adam Aper, AD was going to copyright him for drinking out a mug. He would. That's the sort of ridiculous thing he'd do, isn't it? Pitbull, Dad, what exactly is happening on 22nd July with YouTube? I'm confused. Right, they're bringing out a whole new set of policies. It's mainly regarding copyright. Basically, anything you upload, you have to have proof of ownership of that piece of work. Proof of copyright. You can't upload anything unless you have that. I don't quite know how it's going to work, but you've got to have that proof. So they're becoming even stricter on copyright, and they are changing a lot of the laws on what people talk about, I think, regarding crime and stuff like that. They're clamping down a lot on that, which they have already. A lot of channels have been demonetized, and I think they're going to sort of clamp down on cyberbullying and all that sort of thing. Or just, I don't know exactly on that, but it's going to be quite a big change. It's certainly going to affect him because, all he can do now really is just do live chats and make crappy little videos with pictures like he sort of is at the moment. He's not going to be doing any of these big sort of documentary style videos anymore where he just steals other people's footage and adds his voice to the top. I hope it doesn't stop freedom of speech. I really do, because that will just kill YouTube, won't it, if they do that. So I know a lot of people are moving over to like DLive and stuff like that. A lot of people say it's better, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's certainly panicking, isn't he? Whenever anyone goes TikTok, he gets in the right state, doesn't he? They're going to take me down. They're going to take me down the 22nd. So yeah, it'd be great, wouldn't it, if he just disappeared? Is there money to be made on DLive? I think it's similar to YouTube. Certainly with YouTube, you make very, very little money on the advertising. It's pence per thousands of views, So I think most people will just carry on what they're doing with like Patreon and PayPal and Streamlabs and all that kind of thing. I think that's the way to go. If you're in it to make money. Obviously, I don't, and Phoenix don't. Well, we have our Patreon, which goes to the three charities that the Rusex chose. We'll be paying our first amount in soon, hopefully. Obviously, we're going to do a video just showing everything that when it gets paid in, just so you guys can see, because we want to be totally transparent and all that sort of thing. We took all our AdSense and stuff off. Because we didn't feel that was right, making any money from advertising. Obviously, we don't have super chats, that wouldn't be right either. So yeah, but for ones that make money, I think I can still do it on DLive. So no one wants to call in. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. It's got to be someone. What's a good rant? Christmas mugs. Oh, please don't tell me he's going to make Christmas mugs. Oh, no. Apparently he's merch guy. He's a taxi driver, isn't he? Is that right? He's a taxi driver in London or something, I think. DadTV, Devil Mike. What, does Devil Mike want to phone in? Is that a yes? I've got loads to say. Okay, cool. Let me, what I'll do, I'll pop the numbers underneath the video. They'll be in the description box, okay? You'll see them there in a minute. Bear with me 1 second while I get those. I can chat amongst yourself. Right, here we go. Call it, copy. Just letting you know, I'll be going till 9:30 for anyone who still wants to stick around. Okay, so Okay, you should see them underneath the video mic in the kind of description area. Let me just open up the room, otherwise you won't be able to get in. There we go. Yeah, it's underneath the video now. So hopefully you can see that. You know what to do because you phoned in the other day, didn't you? So Pitbulls do 5 loads save it if I rang up, my mind would go blank. Yeah, mine does that on the live sometimes. Or during the week I think of all these things to say, and come the lives I'm like, what do I talk about? So I need to get in the habit of writing stuff down, because I'm always thinking of good stuff to bring up and then I forget. So good ways to write it down. Write it all down. Hi Mike. Hello. Okay, seems to be muted. You should become unmuted in a minute. I think sometimes it just... Oh, there we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
Hi, how you doing? Can I just say, on Monday, a few people were mistaking you for Frankie Ruzek. Don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah. I sound a bit deeper through this tablet. This is just an old tablet I've got that I installed Zoom on. But
Okay.
I've watched that many documentaries as well. I turn between sounding like I'm on a documentary and my deep accent, my northern accent.
Ah, right. Which part of the north is it?
I'm just sort of Pennines.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Uh,
Well,
yeah, I just wanted to talk about, because I've been thinking about where the situation is, and I've been trying to understand both sides, because sometimes to not get as angry, it helps for me personally if I try and understand, even if I can't originally. Now, you're totally right about these YouTube changes. I think a lot of people aren't realizing that there might be some of us that are creators against creators, and that is something they're going to be buckling down on. And that's why I say armchair style channels, because there's quite a few armchair style channels into with opinions.
yes. Yeah.
I just think it's best to, try and hold back with stuff like that. Try and, we can all be a bit more general and still know what we all mean. And yeah, another thing, at first I weren't maybe expecting that the family would be in the chat as well. But so maybe I thought, would people have to adapt to consider that if they have got a place to go, there's certain things that I wouldn't want to go into. For instance, I could go into the NK case and explain why I don't think it's a plan for two people, because there's no scenario which you look at that crime where they can live happily ever after. If you look at it in a logical way, there's no way two people would lose their mind in that way, where the other person thought that they could carry on living after that crime. Even, and then people have said to me, "What? Yeah, but he was disturbed. He was disturbed that day." But I've looked at multiple scenarios, and never mind how you look at it, there's no way that what with the crime that was committed, there's no way past that point that this Chris Watts would have been free. Shanann was an amazing woman. She had a massive presence, online presence, and she would be missed 3 minutes after she went quiet. It's just not logical, and their group is stuck in a position now where they're trying to. They think that if they can prove now that their original theory was right, then that that proves us wrong in a way. When really we're talking about how they go about stuff in general, and we was all affected the same with this case. It affected me, The same with the Madeleine McCann. And if you showed me a case every day, I'd get upset about it. But sometimes something's put across media in a way that it connects with people and it stays with you for years, maybe, because technology is advanced in a way where we no longer just read about a crime in the paper. We we hear the story, we see the pictures of the people, and then we go through sort of a virtual reality. We're basically witnessing what the detectives are witnessing, or the police as they enter the area. You know, it's like a VR journey, and the horrors play out in front of us, unfortunately, and it's real. I mean, I don't know how people in law enforcement deal with it, because I bet we don't even know most of it, and that's probably for the best. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, this case was quite unique, wasn't it? There was so much footage released, video footage and the Facebook stuff, that you're right, you did actually sort of feel yourself becoming a part of their family almost, a part of their life, weren't you? It's almost as if you knew them personally. And I think that's why people have become so engrossed in the case, is because they've got so emotionally involved in it. Um, and we all feel like, how can this? I think it's just unbelievable to everyone that he still did what he did. Being such a seemingly loving father to do such a heinous crime. I don't think anyone will ever get their head around how something like that could happen.
no,
And you're right about, the after, the after of it. It's just, yeah, like you say, it's unfathomable how anyone could plan a life beyond that. I mean, even from NK side, I mean, what woman would kind of happily want to settle down with a man and have his child, knowing that he's annihilated his whole family to get there? Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense at all, does it? That any woman
no,
would be happy to live with a man who's done that. I can't believe that would ever be possible.
yeah. So, like I talked about pyramids on the Team Phoenix podcast. I'm just telling my cat off because he's scratching me and my guitar. Ouch. Right. So, what was I saying then? Sorry.
I was just talking about how unfathomable it was, that they could plan a life after, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
such a
So, right. So, Chris Watts, for instance, there's a lot of guys that don't deal with their emotions. They've learned as they've grown older. I know someone that's got a cold stepdad, and he could never understand why he was so cold. And I used to think, it's really out of order. And then I found out that his parents had been cold to him, and they'd worked all the time, left him at home and for hours at a time, just been really strict. And you know, you start to realise a pattern emerge. Now, I wanted there to originally. I thought there's a place for everyone. That's a positive place for everybody. But to my own detriment, what I didn't consider was right. So Chris Watts can't deal with his emotions. He's I don't even know enough to claim what's wrong with him. But hold on, what a bit here. Right, is it, and then right. So you've got these armchair style detective channels investigating a guy that they don't understand because they say that he's a narcissist and stuff, and then maybe the leader of the pyramid style Patreon group and the conspiracy. And don't forget, this feeds also them trying to get those thumbnails out with the Watts case on.
hmm
What I thought, what if there is a core group of narcissists that's investigating a narcissist, and then there's a group of narcissists that follow them? So the group, so you've got an Angel Wings type sort of channel, them sort of names. They might come across as a narcissist who's following the narcissist who he was originally on about, and then there's Chris Watts at the top. Now, a lot of us have genuine interest in crime and theory,
Hmm.
but we don't start to project people from our past onto those characters. And then, because there's no need for them to be so vulgar in what they say. You know, if say we're putting facts across, they don't need to say that anyone's slimy or works in the red light district, or, you know, I really believe that projecting characters that have hurt them in the past or a certain stereotype onto people that they really know nothing about.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, NK in particular has become the brunt of every sort of, it seems, woman's hatred, really. You know, she's been called a whore and a skank and, you know, all sorts of things.
Yeah, we
Um,
can't even say it. We can't even say the real stuff that's been said. It's so, that's why I call it a hysteria, because it's so right. Imagine, like, I'm British, so, and I know it could look bad for British if some parents from our country lost a child abroad, but it could look bad for Spain if, you know, a child was kidnapped in their area. And I've been just disgusted in how many British people, when you check these sort of conspiracy sites, that are condemning two parents that have lost a child abroad. I mean, imagine that happening, and then you're accused of doing it while your child's gone missing, just because there's the internet between you and them. Because so many people are angry at these parents that lost their child, that, you know, they've been getting death threats all the time, and get this, they was told how to act by the press and stuff like that. They said, and they had advisors around them. It came massive. Everybody saw the little girl, and it had an effect on us. Like I said, all of a sudden you can see something, and it can affect you, and you can not stop thinking about it for ages.
hmm.
And, you know, all of a sudden you've got all these false accusations going about, and they're not even bothered about what they say about the parents, or if they see it. If I was them, I wouldn't even be able to go online ever again, because it just drive me insane.
Hmm.
You know, it turned out that there was a guy over in Spain, thought he was a bit of a detective, had like a Columbo wannabe with a massive detective class going round, and then, you know, when he started to look bad, he again, like other people, pushed their agenda and wrote a book about it. You know, I just find it crazy. It's not realistic. And then, do you know, these people without the right emotional makeup, like the reason they think that everyone has to go to prison and that's the worst thing. Now, prison would be pretty bad. Well, if you don't have the same emotions, like a narcissist following a narcissist, all of a sudden you don't think being free after committing a crime is bad, because you wouldn't have feelings yourself. You'd get away with it. But really, if you've killed someone, you've got to live with that forever if you've got feelings. And
Hmm.
that and on you, I imagine it'd be absolutely awful. And even if you've not been caught by the law, you've got to go by every day knowing that somebody could find out something new. You know, you've got to know that you've ended someone's life. You know, living with that would be just awful.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know, I try and follow it down many routes of logic, and I just can't make sense of it.
No, and I mean, he even, you know, when you see some of these people that commit these crimes, and you can see they're kind of void of emotion. You know, these kind of sociopaths and stuff. You can tell that they've just got no regret or, you know, as I say, emotion or anything. But you know, with the Chris Watts, you can see that he kind of did. Um, you know, it showed in his confessions and stuff, which makes it even more kind of weird. Um, you know, just bizarre. The whole crime, the whole was just bizarre from start to finish, really. But he
Yeah.
is in prison. He's where you know, he's the perpetrator, and he's where he needs to be at the end of the day. But I don't think we'll ever make sense of it. I don't think. But these conspiracy theories and all of this stuff just doesn't help. That's the thing, is it? It doesn't help in any way. You know, no
Well, yeah,
one. Go on, sorry.
yeah, sorry. Right. Yeah, right. So I call it, I won't go into it a lot, but I call it no way forward, no way back. what I came up with, and it's at a point where, right, Chris Watts has told NK that he's sleeping in the basement, and it's over with the person he's with, and he's going to be moving out soon. Now, NK helped him look for places. She was looking forward. We could all meet a guy at work, and he could be leaving his own situation, and you plan to have a new one. She said she never wanted to be kept quiet. She wanted her own situation where she was number one. And maybe even if they could ping somebody around that area, if I had a new partner and he was having a relationship with me and ending it with someone else, what if I drove around the area just to have a look because it drove me crazy? You still can't prove anything. So, right, Chris Watts's family get back off the trip, and I believe Watts was supposed to tell Shannon that night that it was over. But because he's a weak man that he is, that can't deal with his emotions, he went through with getting, like, they had intercourse that night. And maybe it was a test from Shannon, but she had every right to do that because she'd been pulling her hair out for months, knowing something was wrong, but not being able to prove it. I've had that feeling, and it's horrible. So once Chris Watts that night had done what he'd done and got back with Shannon, now he's got no way forward and no way back, because if he just carries on, right, Shannon would have told NK that they slept together that night. I would have done. And I believe it's at that point Watts himself felt violated, even though it was his own fault, because he couldn't deal with his emotions and he couldn't make clear direction. He actually felt violated that night because he'd slept with both people, and he knew that would come out.
Yeah.
And that you see, I didn't want to go into this on Team Phoenix because this is for us in the crime community that we've got our own theories. Well, we've had them, they've gone because we're trying to move on from it, because we haven't just gone into it because we love cracking cases. It's because it's affected us. It really affected. Seeing that body cam going around the house and not finding anyone really affected me personally.
Yeah, I think it has affected it's affected so many people, hasn't it? Not just the families, the sort of ripple effect really has been right across the whole crime community, hasn't it? No one can make sense of it. Everyone
No,
gets upset by it constantly. Um, I feel myself getting upset all the time when I'm looking at videos and talking about it, and then you start thinking things, and you can feel yourself sort of getting dragged down a bit into this kind of depression almost, because it's such a tragic, sad, crime that's happened. But obviously what we represent and what we do, we have to kind of keep, look around and see what's going on. And now obviously we've got, we're representing the Ruzak family. We kind of feel that, we do have to be careful in what we say and do. So, I appreciate you saying about not bringing it up on the Team Phoenix channel.
yeah.
And that's the sort of people we need and want around us, in our group.
I just want to check, is anyone else ringing in? Or because, right, what I was hoping was, right, because there's a lot of messing about going on. The quickest way for me to validate who I was to just join join Team Phoenix chat and say, look, this is me. This is who's been. I also developed a satirical humour. A lot of us did put some reasonable points across on their channels for a couple of months, like arguing because we wanted to put what we put across to them, and we did a lot of arguing. And then once it got past a point of reason, and we started to see like fake reviews and comments, a lot of us started to come up with like a humour, a comedy where we was hoping that if we sort of act how we see them, they might for a moment see it themselves. It might disconnect them from the sort of train that they're on, and they might see it for a second, and then once they go back to seeing it again, it'll never be the same, because that happened to me. I used to love Alex Jones, and he used to really make me laugh because of how insane he got.
Hmm.
But something changed. I saw a story that some children, no, I mean, some families couldn't visit their children's graves because of the hysteria of people saying the children didn't exist, it was a hoax. And at the time, I thought, wow, that's bad. But when I went back to watch Alex Jones, I thought, oh my God, what's he saying? What's going to be the outcome? And that was a change for me. And then there was another guy who, he's got quite a good YouTube channel, and he sort of had to go into his own place on the internet now, because he originally was interested in UFOs and stuff like that. But he started going into London events, and he started pointing at dead bodies and saying that they were mannequins. And as I was watching it, I noticed some real pictures, and I was like, oh my God. And then so that shocked me, and even like, I don't know what is it, visual abuse, because it's not what I started watching on his channel originally. So yeah, I descended into not liking conspiracy channels.
Yeah, I suppose I can understand maybe some people try and find their own way of dealing with things, that they find disturbing or difficult. I mean, it must be so difficult for, the investigators and people, these homicide detectives that, have to come across these things and see it all in first person, don't they? I mean, one can only imagine how traumatized those firemen and that were that, rescued the children out of the oil, had to take the children out of the oil tank. I mean, I don't think that's something I could ever get over, to be honest, if I had to do something like that. Um, one can only imagine, can't they, how disturbing that must have been for them.
Yeah, I went through the sort of full transcripts, and it's quite horrendous. Not advised to go through it really, because you don't. All you do is it just holds you back really, because you're just seeing images that aren't best to be seen. Maybe some things aren't meant to be seen. These guys that recover stuff like that, not only do they get counselling after, but they're trained to deal with it. They build up to stuff like that, and they have people with them that are like, they take them under their wing, until they get adapted to the job. I just don't know if it's the same for just viewing it yourself.
Yeah, it must be it must be so difficult. But I mean, that's the cold face of it, isn't it? I mean, and I think that's what a lot of these channels forget. When they class these things as entertainment and using stuff for clickbait and what have you. I think sometimes all of that side of it's forgotten, isn't it? And well, like we stand up for the victims and the families that are affected, because sometimes their voices aren't heard and they're just pushed to the back of the room, because people want entertainment and they want to see this and that. It's which is wrong, and people are profiting off it as well. It's another massive thing that we have a problem with, you
Yeah,
know,
so yeah, what we mentioned is only half of the problem. You know, we're seeing our own community that are into crime. We always like talk to each other anyway. Sometimes without these channels, uh, it's just not a good situation, is it? And I know now that they think that if they prove what they think they're trying to prove, they think that it's gonna be the answer to everything, and it. So I can see it just getting worse. Really, they'll probably dig deeper into that. It's almost been too good to be true in a way. I've put a joke out about a red car or something, and then that evening it's like, did Betty have a red car and stuff? I'm like, are you for real?
yeah, yeah, it has become ridiculous, isn't it? It's like you just don't know what's going to come up next. It's just, I mean, you have to laugh at some of it, some of the ideas and stuff that, like Armchair comes out with, because it
Yeah,
is that ridiculous. But what's so frustrating is that all of his subscribers and that believe it. And that's part of the thing I can't get my head around is the sort of mentality of the people that are, you know, believing it, enjoying it, loving it. They can't get enough of it. I don't understand why people sort of are interested in crime, get to that state where they're that interested in those sort of mad conspiracies and the gory details, you know, it's almost sick in a way.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure some of that out. Like, I'm worrying about, I mentioned MGTOW, men going their own way.
Yeah,
Well, imagine, so them guys that are funding their groups, they've got no way to move forward. Like, the group is based on not liking women. So how do you meet someone new and then stop needing MGTOW? I started to think about that. It's just not good. If my granddad was still about, I would not be happy if he was like into MGTOW stuff because it'd mean that he'd have no chance of finding anyone else.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, no, absolutely right. Absolutely
example.
right. It is a kind of group of women haters really at the moment
It's an unwillingness, right, to even consider what we're saying, and that's why I think the humour came in because it takes a lot of energy to try and dispute with what they're saying for say the 10th time. So by then you probably just come up with a joke that sort of makes them look silly in one swoop, if you know what I mean.
yeah, that's the point we got to, you know, we started to try and put it across in a humorous way to say, look, you know, this is the person you admire and this is what they're saying. You know, they're telling you one thing one minute, then they're telling you another thing the next minute, and we tried to put it across in a humorous way, so we didn't come across as looking like we were attacking and bullying, you know, and that's the kind of way that we've kept going, and it seems to have worked. I mean, you know, Team Phoenix does seem to be quite well known now in the crime community, and a lot of people are jumping on board with what we're doing. So you know, we must be doing something right. There must be a place for us in the crime community, otherwise we wouldn't be sort of slowly growing the way we are. But it's a shame that the crime community is kind of split at the moment, isn't it? It seems to be um, a lot of people are in sort of a bit of uproar about all of this, you know, because you've got all these conspiracy theorists, then you've got the side that sticks solely to the facts, and it's almost like there's becoming this clear divide, um, you know, in the whole community, really.
Yeah, it's just not a good situation at all, really. I mean, right, the people, if they're listening or if they listen to the Team Phoenix last week, you'll know who you are. You really will from what I said. It's you guys that have helped me put that into perspective the other week because you might not know it, but I've watched all your stuff and I've took notes from all the horrific stuff you've witnessed, the bullying, uh, some of the money troubles, and that enabled me to sort of put that across, and I've got more to put across another time as well.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting points what you bring up.
Yeah,
And
I won't mentioning names or because that was another thing. I thought maybe we should go easy on people that have come from their side or they could come over just because you know if we make it seem like there is a place and then there is a place. Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, absolutely. That's what we do try and do. We do try and welcome in anyone because, you know, we understand that a lot of people that may be joining sort of their channels are going to be new. They're going to be new to the case possibly because there's always new people, you know, that are seeing stuff for the first time. So, you know, for us
Right. So
to jump on them and
I'm,
start attacking them would be wrong.
yeah, I just mean on a deeper level. So maybe not us lot. Maybe you'd have to watch out for it, but there'll be heavy people on both sides, and I'm just wondering. I just noticed a couple of things where they might be, like I was saying about vulgar comments and just calling people, just like say we want to So you want to explain to a conspiracy type person that's getting carried away, they've lost a lot of money and stuff like that.
Hmm.
If we say, you lot, you're just evil, and that's it, they won't believe that they can come away. They'll be like, oh, well, I'm stuck here in the bad bunch anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
But I thought,
absolutely.
did think about some of them. I thought, I wouldn't want you over this side with what you just said.
No, no. And certainly some of the, particularly like on Armchair's channel, the moderators are almost a mirror image of him and the whole sort of ethos of the channel. They're very quick to attack, if you like. Um, if you say the wrong thing. Oh, I think you've frozen yourself there, Mike. You're stuck in a bubble. Not sure what happened there. He's dropped off. Mike's dropped off. He's gone. Come back, Mike. Pray for Mike. Mike's lost in he's lost in cyberspace. Oh, he must have dropped out. Cut off. Well, if you're still there, Mike, thanks for calling in. That was a really interesting call. Bring up some really valid points as well. Really valid points. If only we could get through to these people. Why don't they understand? I hope Mike's all right. Are you in the chat there, Mike? You've fallen off your chair or anything, have you? I'm sure he's fine. Maybe his phone ran out. Oh no, it's Mick, yeah. Yeah, he's a good bloke. Yeah, he's got some really interesting theories. He's obviously looked quite closely at, studied the behaviour and psychology of people that follow people like Armchair. That's always something that's baffled us. If we could only understand what makes them tick, we might be able to stop, get into their heads a bit more. Dead battery, yeah, I think you're probably right. Something like that. Yeah, what makes them adore someone like AD, and think he's always right and not challenge him. So I think sometimes they're just scared to challenge him because, they know they'll get ridiculed or told they need glasses or. It's all wrong. It's all wrong. Tick tock, the witch is dead. Oh, I so hope so. 22nd. What are we? 3 days away. So it's going to be what? Monday, isn't it? Monday. Monday, 22nd. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. Presumably the policies will take effect straight away. I hope so. I think we'll be okay. I think Team Phoenix will be okay because our formats, we don't use any, our live format will be fine because it's all created ourselves. The cartoons are all created by Tracy. So yeah, thanks, Mike. We guessed your battery. Yeah, you got everything out. It's a very good points raised there. Thanks for that. It's the psychology of an AD sub. That'd be a whole topic, wouldn't it? Does everyone think it was quite begging today? Is AD's video was almost begging the Rusex to contact him, wasn't it? That's how it came across to us anyway. It was almost begging. Nurse Ratchet, date is calling. Are you going to phone in Nurse Ratchet? You know a bit about being an AD mod, don't you? Were you a mod? Oh no, I don't think you were a mod, were you? Kane's fan, will there be a TP Live 7:22? It's a Monday, so yes, there will. There will. Monday night, there should be a live. Should be a live. That's good timing, actually, isn't it? Monday. Never know, he might be gone. How cool would that be? A Monday night party. Phone-in party. Sasha, yeah, he wants the FBI, Nicola Atkinson, and the Rusex to watch him tonight. Yeah, and you missed out the CBI and the Frederick Police. Everybody's got to watch AD tonight because he has the evidence that there was an accomplice or accomplices. No one else has been able to find out this evidence. No one spotted it. But AD and his group have got it. They've spotted it. They found it. They found the evidence. All the way from Weston-super-Mare. They found the evidence. And we've all got to watch. And watch in awe. And bow and give money to this super sleuth from Weston-super-Mare. Because he can do things that no other detective can do. He has a special power, he dreams things, and it's just amazing. Amazing how he does it. And yeah. So the Rusex are gonna watch, and they're gonna be amazed. And if they comment, they might get blocked, but they still have to be amazed. And Frank has to email him, otherwise he won't speak to him. Because you have to email him. That's the only way you can make contact, is to email him to prove who you are. Otherwise you're not real. Even though you're the parents of the victims, you have to email him. Because he's that important. Yeah, Frank has to send his DNA. He has to send his DNA, fingerprints, video message. Otherwise, just not interested. I actually started to think today that AD might actually be delusional. I'm starting to wonder if he does actually believe some of the bull crap that he comes out with. Initially, I thought he just made everything up, knew it was all bull crap, but now I'm starting to wonder if he actually does believe it, because of just the way that he goes on his rants and he's so passionate, and I think he actually might be becoming delusional and believe what he's saying, which is even more worrying. Dad, we just figured that out. Yeah. No, before though, I just thought, he knows he's bullshitting. He's just doing it, obviously to get the attention and the money and everything. But now I'm wondering if he does actually believe some of his own bullshit. I don't know. Either way, it's not good. Either way, it's not good. But his own ego does, yeah. Well, his ego will never let him be wrong, will it? He'll never let him say that he was wrong. I'm just interested if someone's going to bring up about the Rusex tonight. I'm really interested to see how he responds to that, because he'll know that Frankie and Sandy and Frank were all in the Team Phoenix chat. He'll know that. So I'm wondering how he's going to. Will he mention it? Probably won't even mention it. He's probably got all his mods on alert to block anyone who mentions their name. You wait and see. because he's going to have, if someone mentions it, he's going to have to kind of admit it, isn't he? And he won't want to do that. No, he won't acknowledge it. I think you're right. That's what I think. I think he's going to stop mentioning. Well, I know he's mentioned it tonight to try and get him to contact, but I think he's going to try and stop mentioning them. And I think he may even try and stop mentioning us. I know he didn't mention toilet paper last night. He mentioned Martin and Norman. He hasn't mentioned us. And I'm just wondering if he will start to not mention us because he doesn't want people to see. He doesn't want people to see that we've got so much support. You know, not only from the Ruse X, but from, I mean, we had Juchi Ron come on, didn't we, on Monday, you know? We've had other YouTubers come on, all in support. So yeah, I think he might start shying away from using our name. Yeah, he's at Templedore. His agent has told him not. Yeah, his agent's told him not to mention us. Wonder if his agent will be there tonight. I wonder if he's. I wonder when he's. Is it September, October? He's going to America. I think it was, wasn't it? Although Abigail's going to do her best not to let him in. Brandy Brown, they know it is Frank. Yeah, I know they do. I know they do. Treating him like that just riles me up. How dare they silence him like that and try to discredit that wonderful woman's family? I know it's absolutely disgraceful, isn't it, Brandy? It really is. He knows. He's known for a long time that is the real Frank. He knows. But he's got to deny it. He's got to deny it. Can't let his subs know. Can't let his subs know. Right, guys, it's 9:32. 9:32. I'm going to wind down, I think, because I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss the super news, the amazing new evidence at 10 o'clock. Can't miss it. So what's the betting this time tomorrow? We'll say thinking what a load of crap that was. What's the betting on that? Right, okay. Well, thanks for coming in, guys. It's very much appreciated as always. Thank you to Fairly Vague and Tracy for looking after the room. It's very much appreciated. Thank you to all of you for coming in. It's very much appreciated. Thanks to Devil Mike for phoning in, raised some really interesting points. Sorry, Claire Devine, you just turned up as I'm leaving. That's really annoying, I know. But, you know, you've got AD at 10 o'clock and his amazing new evidence. Yeah, thank you, Tabitha. So I'll say goodbye. Goodbye, Brandy and Mick. Nurse Ratchet. Irish Eyes. Casey Lowe's Essential Oils. Stardust, fairly vague. Temple Doyle. Solange. Daniel Wiltshire. Armchair Detective, like the name. Melissa Susie. Adam A. Pell. Tracy. Too many Wawas. Got some new names here. Devil Wings 13. Hello and goodbye. Helen, I, Melissa Susie, Sasha 2009, D Rigueur, Sandy Blue, Pitbull Sleuth, Sam, Linda Jacobs, Lady Lucan. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. We should be going live on Monday, which is the 22nd, YouTube Policies Day. So yes, that'll be interesting. So I hope to see all you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll speak to you again.